Hello, I am Tierra Reed, the owner of Inspire, Engage, and Educate. And I'm super excited tonight because I have one of my very good friends, long friend, Shanetta Mosley, who is our guest tonight on Wednesday We Wear Pink. As you guys know, I shared with you last week some components of my story, but what I really want you to understand is that we are going to continue on Wednesdays during October, sharing amazing stories of early detection and getting firsthand views from those who were caretakers or even those that may have suffered with breast cancer and thrived through it, or those who actually may have had close calls. So, to tell you a little bit about Shanetta, Shanetta and I have been friends. Oh my God, I have more years with her than without her, right? So we met in college and we have been inseparable since. Shanetta, tonight, I'm like, my heart is smiling because I never thought that Shanetta would come on here. So let me tell you guys, for Shanetta to come and tell me, yes, this is a very special, near dear thing to her heart. One of the things that we chatted about is we really want to make sure that if there is anyone out there who may be suffering in silence, you may have found a lump, you may be scared. From hearing Shanetta's story tonight, I want you to feel very empowered to go and check it out because I'm telling you, Shanetta is another one that is not great by mistake. And Shanetta, please share your story with us.
Hello, everyone. So, of course, she introduced me, longtime friends, friends forever. Shanetta Mosley here. Well, let's see, where to start? Well, I'll start with my mom. She was diagnosed at 48 with breast cancer. At first, she had noticed her breasts that were red. They had bumps on it and they itched very bad. So she went to the doctor and they gave her an antibiotic because they thought it was a some type of infection or anything. And then probably a year or two later, it came back. So she went and she had a mammogram done and come to find out it was cancer. So I wish we would have done that the first time versus the second time because it ended up being stage 4 when she found out. So I remember her calling me, telling me I was just getting off work and it was really hard. I was just boohoo crying my little heart out. But I'm like, my mom's strong. She gonna get through this. She gonna make it through. So being there for my mom, we automatically knew that we wanted nothing but the best for her. So she would do chemo and radiation, and we would be down there. My sister, me and my sister, we both, took turns going there, helping her out. And then also when she got ready to go through the process of the surgery, she went to MD Anderson because we wanted nothing but the best for her. And Miss Reed over there, Tierra, she helped out a whole lot because she allowed my mom to stay, and that's how she ended up meeting my sister and my mom. And I was just very grateful for that, and just love her so much for that. So throughout that process, it was just very hard to be in there, seeing my mama go through that, um, seeing the stuff that and she still worked at the same time. She worked her butt off. She did not stop working. So I was like, Mama. But that was her. She was a hard worker, and she wasn't gonna let nothing stop her from doing what she needed to do. So it can get very tiresome sometimes, but at the same time, you don't care because that's your parent, and you gonna do whatever it takes to make sure that they doing okay. Same thing with my cousin Erica. She had dealt with it too. She was diagnosed. She actually felt it herself. She had went and had a mammogram, but then they didn't say that she had anything. Then she went back. No, she felt for herself. She did, the yearly checks, how you must check yourself, throughout every so often. And she found it and went, and that's what it was. So being there for her after my mom had passed from it, it was kind of hard dealing with that and stuff. So I just was glad that I was able to be there for them and to help them in any way I needed. It didn't matter how tired I was or what I was dealing with going through. That's family at the end of the day. And I would do it again, at the drop of a dime. So, I mean, it's a lot of people in my family. My auntie, she had it, but she's doing well. My sister, she's doing well. My dad had prostate cancer, however, but he's doing good. But yeah, my grandma, she had it. So just being there to provide for them, take care of them, and do what I need to do. I mean, like I said, I'd do it all over again if I had to. Because it's just a blessing to be able to have that time to spend with them because you just never know in life. So, yeah.
Wow, Shanetta, as you were talking, I just thought about, when it comes down to being a caregiver, not only for your family, all those people in your family that have been impacted or, affected by cancer in some way. You were the first person that went to the doctor with me. So I immediately, I told Shanetta when I got to the point that I was going to talk to people about my lump, I couldn't think of anybody else to be strong enough to go to the doctor with me. And, whatever we found out, I knew that you would be my strength that I needed. So we went, and that day we pretty much didn't find out anything other than, I had a lump. But I'm just going back to your story, understanding that cancer is very prevalent within your family, but still understanding that you can't allow that fear to stop you from being checked. Tell me a little bit about that journey.
All these people in my family dealt with cancer. Um, they told me at the doctor that I would have to start getting mammograms at 35. Other than that, if I didn't have that history, it would have been 40. But I still do believe that they should give people mammograms earlier than that because some people develop breast cancers in their early 30s, like my cousin did. So I noticed that, okay, if my mama had it, this person had it, this person had it, the best thing for me to do is to make sure that I know in the event that it's just the best thing to do is to know. You don't want to know because, it's hard. But at the end of the day, it's better to know so you can know what you need to do to make sure that you continue to stay around here and be here for your family and friends. And so I made sure that once my mama told me that, and once everybody been dealing with and going through that, I said, you know what, let me go into the doctor and make sure that I'm getting my mammograms every year like I supposed to. And I also feel myself because I had one time felt something in my breast on my left side, so I had to go get a biopsy. I wasn't gonna hesitate. I wasn't gonna wait. Now, me being the person I am, I ain't tell nobody because I'm like, that's who I am. But you know, that's just me. So when I did go, I had the biopsy done. I probably should have took some out because I passed out. But everything was, benign. So that was a good thing. Then I went to the doctor again and they saw something. So I had to go for something else. So it was like they saying my breasts are dense. So just knowing, getting a heads up on it is the best thing because you can make sure that you take the necessary steps that you need to get the help that you need and make sure that you can catch it early. And that's very important. So I encourage everybody to go find that support person that you can talk to or that you can take with you who's going to be positive and uplifting and going to see you through it.
Wow, Shanetta. And when you talk about taking that person and being positive and uplifting, you have been that to me. And I just want to thank you publicly. Understanding that you've seen cancer affect people, and of course, they end up. I don't call it losing your battle. I call it being, a survivor with wings, right? But you have never been the type of person that said, "Oh well, I've seen this happen this way. This person didn't survive, so it's not going to work for you," right? I've never seen you be the type of person that is pessimistic. You're always optimistic about, you know what, you're going to get through this, even, with your family members. And I'm so happy that Boo, and Boo is going to be actually, Kanesia. Kanesia is going to be on the show next week, who is Chaunetta's sister that I stole from her. And she is a nurse that is truly, truly an advocate about early detection and also being an advocate for yourself. She's going to be talking about that. So as you can see on the bottom, we have, please share your questions and comments because we want to hear from you guys. This is not us just talking. We want to have a dialogue. If you have any questions, because I know there are many people who are scared. I myself was scared and I put things off. Thank heavens that I put it off just a month. But there are people who find a lump and they wait years. And then when you go back and find it, you're at stage 4 and there's nothing that can be done other than to keep you comfortable. So I really want to hear from you guys. Chaunetta wants to hear from you guys. Chaunetta has a wealth of knowledge because, again, like she said, she's dealt with not only supporting family members through breast cancer, but also through prostate cancer. So also, I want to ask you about that, Chaunetta. With men and you having that experience, what would you say would be probably something that a caregiver of maybe a husband, you're caregiving for your husband, your son, or your dad? What advice would you give them in contrast to maybe your experience when you were supporting your mom?
Of course, like I said, always be positive. Be there for them, whatever they need. If they need just for you to be there to listen to them, just listen to them. Sometimes you don't have to talk every day, all the time. Just be there to be a listening ear, because sometimes they just need that. Making sure that they're getting everything that they need for is, meds, they're going making the right decision, talk about, what's best for them. For it's like when my mom and dad, they talk about, okay, what would be the best option for him, especially at the older age that he was at. So just being there to uplift and encourage, talk about it, don't be afraid about it, and notice the signs and symptoms that comes along with that. Because sometimes people just brush stuff off, but you got to also, when you're going to the doctor, let them know, hey, this is what's going on, this is what's going on, and this is what's going on, versus not telling them everything that needs to be known. So that's what I would say in that aspect.
So what I heard Chaunetta say is make sure you are vigilant, doing your checks. Remember, we talked about that last week, making sure that if you are a female, we have things that happen every month for us, right? So use that as a reminder to do your circular motion where you take your 2 fingers and you press, just a little firmly around your breast all the way in a circular motion until you get to the inside and do that. And also with our males, we really want you to know too, breast cancer happens to men as well. And also, like Chaunetta mentioned, even with prostate cancer, if you feel something, if something is happening too often, if you have any type of discharge from your breast, or if you know how things typically work with your body and they're working differently, please, please, please tell your physician. And if you don't have one, it's a great opportunity for you to even engage with other survivors or caregivers like Chaunetta that have went through this. So before we end tonight, Chaunetta, is there anything else that you would like to say about early prevention or being a caregiver, or even those who may have had a close call? Because Chaunetta has literally dealt with all 3 of those situations. So anything else you have to say as a final thought?
Please make sure that you are going to the doctor, getting your checkups regularly. Make sure you also checking yourself, because sometimes the mammogram may not find it. You may find it on your own. And when you do find it, don't be afraid to go to the doctor. I know a lot of people are afraid to go. Once they find something, they're just worried, worried, worried. But sometimes it can be nothing, and sometimes it may be something. But it's better to know what that something is than to wait and procrastinate and put it off, and it gets worse and worse down the line. So I encourage everybody to make sure that they're going and getting checked um, as needed. If you sometimes people may need to go twice, like myself. My doctor stated that I need to get a mammogram and then 6 months later get an MRI. However, that can be a little scary because the MRI can pick up other things. But you got to do what you got to do to make sure that you're here, especially if you have family and kids and stuff like that. So that'll be the best thing for you guys to do. So don't hesitate or procrastinate.
Chaunetta, thank you so much for sharing not only your story, but your great tips. Tonight, guys, if you don't leave with anything, we want you to walk away with the urgency to make sure that you know your status when it comes down to not only breast cancer, but all health concerns. Another thing that I do want to say is that if you are looking for a walk to donate towards or a walk to get involved in the Atlanta area, October 22nd, our team, Tierra and Elise, is walking for a call. So we are partnering with Making Strides. Not only are we raising money, but we are doing something that's healthy and together to raise awareness. So that is October 22nd. Please, please, please contact me if you want to get involved because we will be walking in Atlanta. Some people will be jogging, but I'll be walking. So anyway, guys, I'm not great by mistake, neither are you. Please, please, please watch the replay or send this to someone that you know is suffering in silence. We love you all and have a great Wednesday. And make sure you got on your pink.